And we're live. Let's get Matt in here. So welcome to another unboxing. This is a follow-up. So this is the original Outgunned. This is the, where is it? The Stretch Goals box. There's the label on the VHS. it's packed full. I've got a little bit more in here than it can take. But I wanted to show you guys this first, so then you'll get a sense of like what's coming for Outgunned Adventure. But that's what we're going to be looking at is Outgunned Adventure. They did a really nice, like this is a soft touch treatment on this box, and they did a nice job of making it look like a distressed, VHS slipcase with the tape, the plastic texture of the tape right there. And so Matt, we're not doing this in the same room, but Matt has his pledge box open, and we're gonna go through it together. So Matt will be able to comment on the quality of stuff and how everything is looking from his copy. But we'll take a look at Outgunned Adventure today. So real quick, good to see everybody in the chat. Nice, Abyss and Clarion and Arturo. Good to see you guys. And yeah, so we'll take a look at the differences and then everything that they included. And so as usual, Two Little Mice did a great job. So this is what they did for the first version. So of course there was the core book, and this was the cover from the core Outgunned book. They included poster art of the flicks, the core rule book, and then their World of Killers, which is kind of their John Wick setting for Outgunned. And then they did the short, and it's cool because it fits in this box, a short Game Master screen or Director screen, right? And then all their stuff. So this is what we're going to see Outgunned versions of. So they do a couple of colors of custom dice with a logo bag. So this was the World of Killers colors, and then just the default red and white Outgunned. And then spotlight coins, which I got, I think, a couple extra of. And these are your spotlights. So you're kind of extreme success automatically, and then you can flip it to see if you keep it. And then of course your dice for rolling your what's that called? The
Death Roulette.
Death Roulette. That's right. So they got and they even branded it on the bottom there with the Outgunned skull. So yeah, a D6 shaped like a bullet. Oh, and that's right. And because they have chase mechanics, they also have a speedometer. So you've got a little dial for your speedometer and the break the pencil for a impossible success. But then you have a broken pencil. What good is that? And we're going to see also they're going to do new versions of the tropes and rolls and tropes, and then the mini deck with all of the used to mark adrenaline and cash and everything in there. So that was the version that we had for the first, and the Kickstarter itself for this second version was called Outgunned Adventure, but the title on the URL was just Outgunned 2. So this is kind of a sequel, but I don't know. What do you think, Matt? Is it a refinement of the rules or a?
Yeah, I think they call it 2 because it's a standalone project.
Right.
You don't need the original to play it. Mm-hmm. It's not really refinement. It's kind of a simplification.
Oh, right.
I don't know. I need to read. I need to go through the rule book and see what they really changed. Mm-hmm. I know that they stripped out like all the extra abilities you can give villains and minions and things.
Right.
But I think there's supposed to be some different rules for like puzzles and traps, but I'm not sure.
Oh, yeah. Right. Yeah, because that would be something, that would be for tomb raiding and stuff. Yeah, you're going to need more puzzle solving. Yeah, that's right, because that's what it says right here. So here's the core book, and let me get this open so you can actually see it other than the glare from the lights. And it says that right on the bottom that it's standalone. So if the John Wick kind of theming of the original Outgunned didn't excite you, maybe the adventure. And we were just looking before the stream at Broken Compass. So their first game that they published with Kaman, and Kaman is leaving this world. They reacquired the rights to that, but it's very similar in its theming as Outgunned Adventure. It's very based on the Mummy, Indiana Jones, that kind of stuff. So we were talking and curious about how much of the content might be shared and how similar the that original system is to the Outgunned system, because Outgunned and Household both have a very similar system where you're rolling pairs and 3 of a kind and 4 of a kind. So as usual, so see this, it's the same art. This is the stretch goals box, similar to the one we just looked at, and here is the core book, nice spot UV treatment, and it's got the soft touch cover again. So Outgunned Adventure, a standalone genre book for the cinematic action RPG Outgunned.
Yeah, Calarian just commented on the chat that he didn't realize that the physical books were this small.
Yeah, right.
And I didn't really either, because I don't have the hard copies of the original set.
Mm-hmm.
But I can say, like, this is, I think, the same size as all of Free League's hardbacks. Like for Forbidden Lands and things like that.
Oh, right. Yeah, the kind of half size. Like what I forget what they call these, but yeah, this is more like an A5 as opposed to an A4
like journal size.
Yeah, it is. Yeah, it is like the size of a journal or a sketchbook. Which is funny because Broken Compass, their core book literally is like a faux leather journal. It's like an adventurer's notebook with a leather cover and a little elastic band and a pen. It goes with like a little pen. So yeah, they got, it's very much a prop. So they didn't go quite that far with this, but it's these are small books, and they're not huge in page count. So I think if they did these as full size like A4 books, they would be quite thin. So yeah, that may be why they chose. And these are very portable. They're really easy to bring somewhere as opposed to the bigger books. Oh, interesting. So we don't get the icons. So the core books usually have the icons from the dice, and this is actually some map details. So nice effect there. These are tools, not rules. Nice. I'll try to keep the glare off of this. Yeah, so this is 2024, and Outgunned itself was 2022. It was just a few years before. So it's this is all pretty recent stuff. And of course, this whole series, this whole game has been picked up by Free League for distribution. So it should be in more stores and more widely available because Free League is doing their distribution. Yeah, and they're even crediting them with Outgunned. They're even on the inside.
Yeah, I noticed that on the back cover too.
Oh yeah, that's right. We didn't take a look at the back cover. Yeah, so here's the theming and the verbiage on the back cover. So the world out there is full of unexplored jungles, lost pyramids, cursed temples that are just waiting for an unprepared adventurer to slip up, collapsing floors, creaky bridges, poison darts, fire jets, and rolling boulders. You can expect all that and even more, but if I know you, I've seen my fair share of people like you. A few obstacles and a handful of deadly traps won't be enough to stop you. So, get up now, on your feet, pack your bag, and grab your hat. Adventure is back. So, Outgunned Adventure is a pulp adventure game inspired by the classic genres from Indiana Jones to The Mummy. In Outgunned Adventure, the players take on the roles of brave adventurers in search of invaluable treasure. Adventure is the first genre book in the Outgunned line, and you can play it either standalone or as an expansion. So we'll see how they differentiate it in the rules. So our Lara Croft our Lara Croft look-alike. Yeah, so that's an interesting thing that they did is in all of the Outgunned books, the illustrations, represent a generic kind of, we've got that at home, kids, version of the of famous movie characters and things. And we especially noticed that with the latest superheroes expansion, is there were some that is kind of like a Spider-Man or a Batman or a Superman, but it's not. It's legally distinct. So that's something. And this is different compared to like Everyday Heroes or some of the other, and even some of the Free League games where they actually license the IP. So you can play in these worlds, play in these genres, and even play basically these famous characters without calling them that. And so it's an interesting way to, and I think because it's an Italian studio, it's fun to see like their interpretation of Hollywood tropes and stuff. Yeah, it has a nice. It's not too self-conscious or too self-referential. It's a real like passionate kind of fan look at these. They're definitely fans of these genres that they built the games for. All right, there's our contents. So we've got the adventurers, the basics of the game, dangers and enemies, guns and gears. Yeah, then here you go. Yeah, temples and traps, supernatural threats, and then to the adventures. And then they give you a little one-shot starter, the Frozen Legacy. All right. So here's their little introduction. So a new adventure. So it's been a while. The world out there is full of unexplored jungles, lost pyramids, and cursed temples that are just waiting for an unprepared explorer to slip up. That's exactly what's on the back of the book. Adventure is back. So yeah, so the adventure is the pulp inspired by first genre book, director's cut. Yeah, so their system of D6s, D6 die pool is called director's cut. They sell the custom dice, but yeah, you could use any set of D6s. And just when it's important to know which face you're rolling, just set one of the values to that. And then here's a rundown, like in the Outgunned book of who you are, where you are, when you are. Oh yeah, so they're specifically saying you're kind of playing 1920s to 1940s. 3 to 4 players. And how many sessions? Oh, a short cinematic campaign of 5 to 8 sessions. Ah, that's a short campaign. Wow.
Yeah, I think, just what I remember from the PDF, I think you set up like an arch nemesis, and so it's all kind of geared to get resolved fairly quickly.
Ah, I see. Yeah, and the thing that they encourage too is you string together shorter stories, so you have like movies and movie sequels, and I think that's what we're doing with Indie Heat. I think that works well for just how you're moving on to the next part of the story, and yeah, just like a movie sequel, you pick back up with the characters a little bit in the future, a little bit has changed, what have they been up to, and then the plot thickens. All right, so yeah, here's their explanation of the genre books. This is the first genre book for the cinematic action role-playing game Outgunned. This book is not your typical expansion, but a brand new format. Before looking at the details, let me ask this question. Do you already own the Outgunned core book? So yes, I have the book. Then you can treat Adventure like a mega expansion. The rulebook changes some of the standard Outgunned mechanics and enriches your gaming experience with additional roles, character options, and mechanics. Everything you need to bring the grandiose Pulp Adventure to Outgunned is contained in this book, including a rich chapter dedicated to the supernaturals. Yeah, so that'll be, if those have mechanics, that'll be a very big change.
Yeah.
And if you don't have Outgunned, if you only have Adventure, is completely standalone. You do not need any other books to play, not even the Outgunned core book. You'll find everything you need to create adventures and set out in search of treasure. Nice. But if you want to use the detailed tools to manage adrenaline-paced action scenes, consider buying the core book. Because why not? Nice. All right. Yep. So they have, so the players in this are, of course, adventurers, dice turn, scene, session, shot. Is the adventure that usually unfolds in a single session, and then a cinematic campaign is the connected shots. Yeah, so they're using just using movie terminology. The pillars of adventure. So when playing adventure, you are practically playing through your own adventure movie, and even if you're not an expert of the genre, you will soon realize that going on a great adventure is not hard at all. So some of their basic concepts: the adventure never stops, the journey is the treasure, and mystery is just around the corner. And then some director advice: show, don't tell. The best movies don't just tell you about things, they show you with facts and actions. And some kind of setting. Oh, they're actually giving you, that's nice. So if you're not familiar, especially, because it's mostly American and European.
Timeline.
Yeah, they'll give you a little historical timeline. That's nice. Yeah, I didn't think they were going to root it so specifically in the 20s through the 40s. But yeah, so World War II, before the end of World War II, or I guess before the beginning of World War II in their timeline.
Yeah, 1936. This is the year when the movie Raiders of the Lost Ark is set.
Nice. Oh, 1926 is when The Mummy is set. So that's funny. Yeah, and so just giving you basic, American and European movie movie years, so you have some context. And so section 2 is the adventure. So this is making the characters. So follow 3 rules to be a great adventurer. Your greatest treasure. So you'll be looking for a treasure. Maybe you're trying to get it back from to its rightful owners, or find it a new home. So it will become your only goal. Nothing is more important than the treasure. Take risks. You must face adventure with determination and tenacity, and do the right thing. For every professor with a firm sense of justice, there are at least 2 grave robbers ready to betray their companions for a handful of gold. Yeah, so very similar. I don't think there's anything. Yeah, it looks like everything is pretty much the same character creation process. Yeah, you pick your role, you fill in the data, then pick your trope from that. So kind of class and subclass, and then mark your attributes and skills based on those. Get 2 more free skills, 3 feats, your gear depending on your role, and then 1 of all the stuff.
The attributes are all the same. The grit track's the same. They changed the name of adrenaline to luck.
Oh, right. Okay.
Death roulette's the same. The conditions are the same. Yeah, mechanically, it's more on the game master side, I think, where if you're going to find changes,
Mm-hmm. Right. Yeah. So your personal data. Oh, yeah, and your catchphrase. That's right. A flaw and a catchphrase you add to your characters. Your catchphrase is a clear indication of how you should portray your adventurer, and the director can use it as a benchmark when they reward you with a spotlight. Your flaw is something that you have to deal with and overcome. Guided play, and yeah. Oh, that's right. That's right. I don't think we've used this mechanic, have we? The director can call a flaw in to impose a -1 on the relevant roll, but then it will. But then you get a reward, right? Something.
Yeah. I didn't do that in our first one. Our first Indie Heat. I actually had the mayor did like op research on all of you and kind of tried to invoke all your flaws when you met with him.
That's right.
That's about the extent of what I did with it.
That's right.
And Will did cite his own personal flaw a couple times, which I appreciated.
Yeah, that's. Yeah, and then the age of the character gives you a little bit. Changes a little bit your character creation. So young adventurers get 2 young to die. Old adventurers get 2 lethal bullets in their death roulette, so closer to death. All right, and so the roles for this expansion are the daredevil, the guardian, the captain, the hunter, the heart, the star, the professor, the technician, the scoundrel, and the smuggler. And each of those has some tropes that go with it. And
I remember during the Kickstarter, they kept hitting those stretch goals and adding more and more of those roles.
Yeah, that's right. There's 10. Yeah, that's a lot. Yeah, that's right. And the special role. So in addition to normal roles, this genre book includes a special role, the Fortune Seeker. Oh, yeah, that's right. That was the last thing unlocked. I think that was the role of the end credits scene was the Fortune Seeker role. There's a special role that acts simultaneously as your role and your trope. So, your background. So you should mark down in all 3 sections, Fortune Seeker. This means that if you pick this special role, you cannot choose a trope. You get immediately 2 attribute points, 14 assigned skill points, 6 points to assign freely. Oh yeah, so more kind of a custom, so you can kind of totally customize how you play. You're just assigning all of the all of the points, and then 3 feats.
It's fun. The perfect role to pick if you want to play an exceptional hero like the main character of a movie. So everyone else can hate you.
Right. Oh, you're so perfect. So alternative feats. So when creating your adventure, you can also ask the director to substitute one of your role feats with another feat taken from the Outgunned core book or another expansion. Nice. Bear in mind that it might require adrenaline to be activated, so you have to use luck. All right. Oh, yeah. So then they go through and they give you examples of, what your catchphrase or flaw could be. So the Daredevil, the Guardian. Oh, yeah. So Daredevil is just an adventurer always ready for action. The Guardian is a strapping adventurer who takes care of their companions. Oh, yeah, that's nice. They give examples on the sidebar. So classic Guardian roles are Ardith Bay in The Mummy, Dr. Joshua Strongbear Sweet in Atlantis, The Lost Empire, Kazim in Indiana Jones and the Lost Crusade. Nice. Classic Daredevils are Indiana Jones, Nathan Drake in Uncharted. Yes. The Captain, Frank Wolf from the Jungle Cruise, Launchpad McQuack in DuckTales. Please don't make us play a DuckTales version.
DuckTales would be awesome. We can all have that theme song stuck in our head.
Yeah. Oh, man. It's so easy just to make everybody ducks. Why not? Yeah, so the Captain, the Hunter, such as Alan Quartermain, Dr. Nate Samuels in Beast, Hugh Glass in The Revenant, Katniss Everdeen in The Hunger Games. Yes, let's not go there.
And Aragorn, really?
Oh, wow. Okay.
I mean, he probably was a good hunter, but really?
Huh. And the Heart, Alan Parrish in Jumanji, Samwise Gamgee. Yeah, they keep referencing Lord of the Rings. That's interesting. Dr. John H. Watson in Sherlock Holmes, Will Byers in Stranger Things, Sala and Marcus Brody in Indiana Jones.
Sala would be my touchstone for sure.
Yeah, that'd be great, yeah. So, the Heart is a loyal friend. The Hunter, they just call an explorer of the wilderness, I guess. Slayer of dangerous beasts. The Star, a cabaret singer, a wealthy patron of the arts, a world-famous actor, or upper cruster in search of a thrill. So classic stars would be Wilhelmina Willie Scott in Indiana Jones. Please don't play that character. Loretta Sage in The Lost City, Salome Otterborn in Death on the Nile, Nicolas Cage in The Unbearable Weight of Massive Talent.
Oh, God.
I just want to play as Nicolas Cage. Is that okay? The Professor, a disheveled researcher who's dedicated his entire life to one discovery. So classic professors are Milo James Thatch in Atlantis, The Lost Empire, Dr. Henry Jones Sr., let's see, Lily Houghton in the Jungle Cruise. Yeah, why are they referencing Jungle Cruise? That's not a super popular movie. Evelyn Carnahan in The Mummy, and Alan Grant in Jurassic Park.
In Indiana, but in Dial of Destiny.
Oh, that's funny, yeah.
Because he's old.
Right. He's finally the old disheveled professor. The Technician, a demolition expert, radio technician, or mechanic. Classic technicians would be Vincenzo Vini Santorini, Audrey Riccio Ramirez, and Gaetan Mole Malare in, I don't know, Atlantis, The Lost Empire. Is that the Disney movie?
That's the cartoon, right?
Yeah, the Disney cartoon. Yeah. Oh, yeah, okay. Yeah. Riley Pohl in National Treasure. Oh, not National Treasure. And Franklin Mouse Finbar in Jumanji.
Did you know that most of the original concept art for that Atlantis cartoon was done by Mike Mignola, the Hellboy guy?
Oh, that kind of makes sense. Yeah, when I think
But then they totally didn't use his style in
right,
the movie.
right. No, now that you say that, I can kind of see that though in
In the
some
shape,
the
right?
shapes of and how some of the characters. Yeah, interesting. Yeah, that's funny. He was going to be a Disney character designer there.
Mm.
So the scoundrel, a lovable crook, an urchin who came up on the streets, or a gentleman thief. Classic scoundrels, Short Round, Chloe Frazer in Uncharted, Benny Gabber in The Mummy, and Jack Dawson in Titanic, and Lupin the Third in Lupin the Third, the First. A scoundrel, and then smuggler, a courier trying to evade the law, an archaeologist with a mountain of debt, or an adventurer who fell off the wagon. Classic smugglers: Victor Sullivan in Uncharted, Jonathan Carnahan of The Mummy, Joel Miller in Last of Us, Helena Shaw in Indiana Jones and the Dial of Destiny. No, don't play her, please.
Sully in Uncharted is cool though.
Yeah. And Bilbo in The Hobbit. Bilbo the smuggler. Okay.
Smuggler. Yeah, they're stretching a little there.
Right. I guess he's a burglar. Yeah. I don't know. I don't know. And then the fortune seeker. Yeah, so an adventurer searching for their destiny. So the special role. Oh yeah, they don't give any examples. Just the.
Because you're everything.
Yeah, right. Yeah. So everything we just mentioned, that is who you are. And then there are tropes. So, kind of further to specify: an action archaeologist, an adventuring author, a born rebel, cold and distant, cowardly lion, detestable bastard, a dreamer, a flying steamroller, a gentle giant, indispensable rogue, parental figure, a proper gentleman or lady, reluctant hero, salty dog, and wild at heart.
So the true role playing challenge would be to combo the heart roll with the detestable bastard trope.
Yeah, right. I'm caring, but you hate me for it.
Yeah.
Nice. So yeah, and they emphasize archetypes, not stereotypes, which is good. All right, and there's what all those tropes give you, and then your attribute skills, and then what those are tied to, and then all your feats. Yeah, so
I'm not seeing any difference in the skills either.
Yeah, skills look the same as Outgunned. Looks like in the feats we're going to get some different things like archaeology.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. Linguist, maybe. I don't remember that from before.
Gulker.
Yeah. Yeah, some new feats. And then all the mechanics of it. So some feats you'll have to power with luck in this system to make them work, and other things are kind of just like passive abilities. All right, and the free reroll. Yeah, so the a lot of these feats can give you a free reroll, which means you don't risk anything that you've already achieved. So as long as you have one pair of something on the dice, you can roll it for free and try to get 3 of a kind. But then after that, you have to use your standard reroll, which means if you don't improve from a pair to 3 of a kind or 4 of a kind, then you lose one of those successes, or possibly everything if you only had one. So free reroll is pretty powerful because that gives you kind of like 3 stages of rerolls, which after playing Daggerheart with almost there's no rerolls at all. It's nice. It was nice to have the ability to go all in. All right, and then grit and conditions, and luck and spotlights, and the death roulette. Yes, I don't know how much we should explain the rules, but these are all very exactly. Except for the naming of luck, adrenaline becomes luck in this system, but everything else is going to work the same.
You can watch our videos on Outgunned.
Yeah. I'll put a link to our actual plays so you can see all of that. And then section 2 is our basics for the game. So all of our rules. Yeah, so basically you have actions and reactions, and you're rolling d6 dice pools. And instead of getting a success, like in some of the Free League systems, you're trying to get 2 of a kind, 3 of a kind, 4 of a kind, and those are levels of success. So basic is just a pair, a critical is 3 of a kind, 4 of a kind is extreme, and impossible is 5 of a kind. And often you're not rolling that many dice.
I've already found a problem with their index.
Oh no.
So they have I just spotted a feat that I didn't recognize that gives you a hindrance while you're carrying a bag or a backpack.
Oh,
And the index says that hindrance is on page 63, and page 63 is just a 2-page art spread with no text.
Oops. Yes.
I don't know what a hindrance is. I want to know.
Yeah. We'll see if we hit that. Yeah, so double difficulty, setting difficulty, your successes. And this is nice. I think Free League does this a lot too. Gives you some idea of your chances. So you know how hard it's going to be. So if you're rolling 3 dice and you're trying to get a critical, on one roll, there's a 3% chance. So good luck with that. Right. Oh, and then, also you can take 3 basics to get a critical, 3 criticals to get a extreme. And I don't think you can go very far beyond that. They give you lots of examples. Oh, yeah. And so for the final stage, if you've spent your free reroll and your reroll, standard reroll, you can go all in, which means you're basically risking everything. So it's all or nothing to get the required number or the required level of success. So that's fun. That's a fun thing. And that's actually worked out sometimes. It's like 2 rerolls were not enough, but that last, thing pulls it off. And this is a fun way that they present their adventures and their one-shots and stuff is as a movie script. So they set up a scene and they give you who's present, who's talking. This is an example of role play, but I like the fact that they use this movie script formatting when they show you their adventures.
I will say, just from a game master point of view, I do find myself second guessing myself all the time because if let's take your character in our Indie Heat game, right? If you're shooting, you have a free reroll, and then you have a regular reroll, and then you have an all in, and then theoretically you could even use a spotlight.
Right.
So I'm always second guessing myself. Am I making these things tough enough? Am I making them? You know what I mean? It's because you want there to be some danger. So, but sometimes you guys just wipe the floor with people, and it's just
Yeah, sometimes the rolls are really strong, right off the bat without even re-rolls, and sometimes you get 3 re-rolls and you still can't get it. So it's an interesting. The randomness is kind of interesting in the system, but you're right. It is a lot of opportunity to get to get a success, and especially if you only need extreme. You're not going for something like impossible. You can get there if you keep saving, if you keep improving one at a time. You can work your way there. And then they've got cover. So in this way, I think they only specified rolling with danger in the Outgunned rules, and in this system, they're talking about 4 ways to fail with style. So roll with the punches is this kind of beetle. The scarab beetle looking, pay the price. So roll with the punches means gains a partial or temporary success, inadvertently offsets unpleasant consequences. Pay the price means the adventurer still gets an awkward success but suffers a condition. Take the hard road, the adventurer doesn't get the success they wanted, but the failure allows them to notice a crucial detail. And then face danger, the adventurer ends up in a dramatic situation and is forced to make a dangerous roll.
Yeah, they have kind of these fail forward tips in the Outgun rules too.
Oh, okay.
And that's something that I need to be more conscientious of. But I don't know. Sometimes it gets me back to that Genesis thing where it's if I have to think of a thing every time,
Yes.
It's a little exhausting.
Right. That's true. Yes. Yeah, good point. So luck and gaining luck, your spotlight, which is your coin, and you can flip it to keep. Oh, here you go. Help and hindrance is 82.
Okay.
So yeah, so help is some pieces of gear or secondary characters can grant help. So a +1 to gain a +1 on an action or reroll, gain a success, or gain a requisite to make a roll. And a hindrance is suffer a -1, get a failure automatically without rolling the dice, or require a help in order to attempt a roll. Interesting.
So the hindrance -1 to action or reaction roll. That's interesting. So there's one of those feats you just have a built-in hindrance. That's crazy.
Yeah, right. Yeah, so bulky or inadequate gear or supporting characters that need your help or work against you. Oh yeah, interesting. Yeah, like if you're taking some difficult passenger with you. All right, so the third section is the dangers and enemies. So this is where I think they're going to change a little bit as far as those abilities, right? They're not going to get all of the special abilities, which means there won't be cards for those in Outgunned Adventure. All right. Oh yeah, so what you take for grit damage based on your failure, and then you mark grit up to 12 until you have to roll your death roulette. Another example of play. Piling up problems. Oh, interesting. So an adventurer can make an action or reaction roll with multiple difficulties. In such cases, the director just needs to track on plus basic, plus critical, or plus extreme.
Yeah, when we did the quick start adventure for Outgunned,
Right.
When you guys got to that Viking ship that was wedged between the rocks, there were like these sort of cascading problems where, like, if someone missed a test, it then caused something else to happen, and then everyone else was making a test.
Okay.
And that was fun, and I need to try to figure out a way to work that into this more modern setting.
Yeah. No, that is very fun. Yeah. I've been that's funny. I've been kind of thinking about stuff like that, like cascading stuff with Daggerheart, with the kind of because that one battle where you guys are fighting the skeletons that are just rising up, that kind of has this like this building thing, and I was like, well, it'd be interesting if this had more, if it evolved a little bit more. So that's cool. Piling up the problems. Yeah, so multiple difficulties. They got nice ribbon bookmark in there. Consequences and failures. You look. So all your conditions. Consequence of your failure when you fill in the bad box, or when failure is not enough and you really need to be punished. Yeah, so your conditions are tired, hurt, nervous, distracted, scared, and finally broken. Which, same. I think the same as regular Outgunned. Uncommon conditions: relaxed, poisoned, stunned, and weak. All right. Death roulette. Oh, here's our enemies. So they give you some examples, kind of example NPCs, or kind of adversary NPCs. So 2 criticals for their attack, and their defense is a critical, a basic. Yeah, so they get gradually stronger. So an enemy is an abstract entity that represents a set of opponents. You can face a single opponent or a group. Oh yeah, because a lot of them are plural.
It's so weird to look at these. It's just grit. That's
Yeah.
I mean, I get that they're not trying to have the same emphasis on combat that Outgunned has, but that's weird to me.
Yeah, I wonder if they're thinking that, for it to be pulp, it should be simple. The hero should, easily, there shouldn't be anything complicated your villains are doing. You just punch at a bunch of, bunch of goons. Yeah, I wonder if that's the thinking is,
Yeah, Yeah, I guess.
So does it? Does it make it more pulp? Yeah. So enemy grit, enemy defense, and enemy attack is the only stats that they get. No abilities or cards.
I mean, and this kind of ties back to what I was saying about like, a combat centered character having all those rerolls and such.
Yeah, yeah.
It's like, wouldn't it be fun to just have something in there that makes it a little more challenging for
Oh
them? I
yeah.
don't know.
No,
I
but
don't.
I thought that worked really well. That ability, because I was fending off. I was using all my adrenaline and fending off the ninja attack. So I was the only one that survived that. But she had a special ability, and I couldn't do it for a third time. I think that worked well. Because it was like I went down fighting, and it felt like a huge effort to try to struggle against that. But without that ability, I probably would have I probably would have defeated her, and then
Yeah,
yeah,
exactly.
yeah.
Yeah, not much of a ninja at that point.
Right. Yeah, I think especially those pulling those abilities out, and maybe that's a little bit more, John Wick, or a little bit more, action.
Yeah.
Is that yeah? There is like a special ability that the your opponent
I
has.
I think you could even though you could just scale it back, like looking back on this list of baddies, like so maybe angry citizens through what security guards. You just don't give those guys special
Right,
abilities,
right. Hmm.
but then maybe like from then on you can. But like in Outgunned, the higher level bad guys will have multiple special abilities.
Yeah, yeah.
They'll have like a built-in special ability, but then they'll have like adrenaline triggering special abilities
Hmm.
as well. So you could just scale it back, like so maybe just give them one of those or something. I don't know.
Yeah, no, that's true. Yeah, yeah. I wonder if they're just trying to make it more. They're just try to flatten the enemies out.
Oh yeah, they don't want to. They're. I think they're consciously trying to make it not the same as Outgunned.
Yeah, right. Yeah, give it a little bit of a feel. So another example. So this is their example of combat, and then their assist rolls, extended rolls. Yeah, for like chases and things. We had the roll of successes, consequences, opposed rolls. Oh, interesting. They're talking about adventurer versus director, adventure versus adventure, and adventurer versus fortune. So something unexpected or flat out crazy, something not even the director set a difficulty or a plan for an outcome for. So you can leave the resolution up to fortune herself. Oh, interesting. Yeah, so much more luck. Yeah, much more luck based in the the tone of it is very lucky. And our guns and gear. And it's nice that they do this, because if they're setting it during a specific time period, it's good they'll give you the examples, of the technology level and everything, the types of firearms and everything that you would have. So your weapons, and they have the kind of abstracted mags.
Someday we're gonna get Terry to understand how that works.
Yeah, right. So I spend a mag. I think because we're jumping between like Fallout, the D20, Fallout,
Yeah.
and this, it's like, wait, what happens when? So yeah, and then the weapon feats.
The weapons all have special things, like in Outgunned.
Oh, and one of them has boom.
Powerful explosive blast.
Yes, tactical weapons and rides, counting shots, bags and backpacks. So something on you, something in a bag, or something in a bulky backpack. Oh yeah, they're actually saying, there's rules for just like losing gear and things. You can lose a bag and whatever's in that bag.
Oh, and they're breaking it up, right?
Yeah.
And like it takes a quick action to get something out of your bag and a full action to get something out of your backpack.
Oh yeah. And beginning of
So
the game, yeah.
that's actually more crunchy than Outgunned.
Yeah, that's true. That's true. And at the beginning, you can choose whether you have a bag, a backpack, or both if you prefer. Yeah, interesting. So a bag or backpack, you can sacrifice it to gain a +1 for a pivotal roll. Yeah, interesting. Yeah, sacrifice the contents. The key, an ancient artifact that can reveal the location of a treasure. Oh yeah, those they have specific cards for those. So this is another kind of item.
Mm-hmm. And we had that in the quick start.
Oh yeah, that's right. That's right. Yeah, I'll put a link to that so you guys can see us like specifically playing this system. And these are types of keys, right? Yeah.
Which is, it's cool that they're mapping out these sort of tropey things to build around your adventures on.
Mm-hmm.
But after you'd played one series of linked adventures, I don't know if I'd want to just do it again where
Right.
like the players are like, okay, what's the key this time? That doesn't sound fun to me.
Right, that's true. Yeah, that's true. All right, cash. They're abstractive cash. It's either $1, $2, or $3. Must be the 1930s. I can buy a car for $3. All
Well,
right.
you can in an outgun too. It's just
that's right. Very abstract. All right, so here's probably the very new rules: temples and traps. So a temple is any abandoned, hidden, or forgotten structure, and is protected by deadly traps. So right time for the temple is at the beginning, halfway through, at the end. And traps, so triggering traps, avoiding traps. So if you manage to find... Oh yeah, so crime plus fix. So the traps trigger almost every time. A trap is like a promise. Once it's been triggered, it must go off, and it must cause some damage. So the adventurers can find a genius or unexpected ploy to avoid the trap, and you should always respect and reward them accordingly. So kinds of traps. So trigger traps, deterrent traps, deadly traps. Alright. So a classic trigger trap, wall darts, a cleaver, a trapdoor, mechanical statue. This is hard to read. Snakes. Shock. Snakes. Deterrent traps. Blade tunnel. Closing door. Slipway.
Yes. See, this is cool because this is like you get to have like the acts of your adventure that are more Indiana Jones, punching Nazis and chasing cars or whatever, and then you get to do the same. It's almost like a dungeon delve.
Yeah, more environmental, stuff, to be aware of. Retaining bridge, scorpions, revolving walls, and the classic deadly traps, flooded room, rolling boulder, sea of fire, collapsing floor. Nice. And then just run. They'll have to run. So, this is cool. Yeah, run, outline. Oh, this is nice. So instead of expecting like a car chase or something, they're talking about, how many turns just to get the hell out of there. Yeah, if the temple is falling down all around you, how to like mechanically handle that. So 3 or 5 consecutive turns. Winning a run. If you survive until the end, you claim to be victorious. Alternatively, they can try to leave the room ahead of the scene ahead of time. Losing a run. If all the adventurers lose all of their grit before the end of the run, they have lost. Nobody could survive that, but the adventurers are always lucky enough to find a way out from this kind of situation. Nice. Yeah, we had a little bit of that in the end of our Indie Heat 2.
Yeah.
All right. So, nice. So they have run mechanics. Well, lots of stuff. First turn, special action. Second turn, special action. Third turn. Nice. All right. And then there's another new section. The supernatural threats. Mummies and more mummies. All right. So before you set off on your next adventure, you can ask yourself these questions. Is the supernatural real? Yes, but it doesn't appear. No, but it appears to be. Or does it appear to be? Yes, and it appears to be. No, and it doesn't appear to be. And nobody knows.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, they give movie examples or game examples. And then it's all true. Supernatural locations, enemies, rivals, and treasure. So not like you expected. Even if all the legends and myths of the past hold a kernel of truth, things could be different from what you've always pictured. The best way is to bring the supernatural elements on the scene in a new and thrilling way to give the adventurers exactly what they want, but not like they expect it. Yeah, that's good. That's good advice. So you don't meta the hell out of everything. All right, so supernatural enemies will have they'll have supernatural feats. So yeah, you'll get some skills back in the characters if they're or in the enemies if they're supernatural.
Or the supernatural, yeah.
Right. Interesting. Special actions and minions.
Oh, the enemy can dissolve into a swarm of insects. That's from Mummy, right?
Yeah, right. Yes. Oh yeah, lots of them. Dark senses, deadly poison, force of nature swarm. Walking corpse. And the special actions. Bitter end. Enemy launches themselves against one of the adventurers. The adventurer is at risk of being left for dead unless they immediately take a spin of the death roulette. And then running from...
I guess...
What's that?
Oh, I just now, in looking at this part, makes me think, kind of revise my opinion of the normal bad guys, because... if you know you're going to have a cool supernatural guy with cool feats and special actions, then okay, the goons not having any special abilities is probably fine.
Right.
You want to distinguish the supernatural more. So
that's a good point. And to make it feel more deadly, so you just mowed your way through a bunch of soldiers and bodyguards, but now you've got a mummy to deal with. Yeah. Unleash a sandstorm. Some minions are the multitude of minions that can help them fight an adventurer. Some are monstrous creatures. Minions are common enemies in most regards, but they rely on one of the supernatural feats of the creature they have sworn fealty to. And friendly minions. Now and then an adventurer can also find a way to earn the sympathy of a minion who's grown tired of being ordered around. Nice. Will's definitely going to talk that minion down.
Holy moly, look at all the abilities this mummy has.
Yeah, wow.
Jeez.
Nice. Yeah, lots of, if you're running from the mummy, good luck. It's got lots of stuff to throw at you.
Ooh, a Yeti.
Yeah, so we've got the Pharaoh's Mummy, the Abominable Yeti, the Mighty Warlock, the Nagini, and the Supernatural Rivals. So rivals act simultaneously as normal rivals and supernatural enemies. Additionally, they can rely on the following characteristics. They're truly extraordinary, they have full power, and they are weak to treasure. So these are, unique kind of opponents. Be real monsters straight out of legends or individuals who used to be humans and have given up everything to gain a dark, unnatural power. All right. And then section 7 is the adventure. So talking about the structure. So shots and the campaign, the treasure, the rival. What pushed you to adventure? Cinematic campaign. So the... pilot shot, yes. So, pilot shot, as the name implies, the pilot shot is what steers the adventurers onto their path to treasure. So 3 classic pilot shots are the expedition, the MacGuffin, or the accident. Point of no return, and then the moment of truth. Nice. The key and the clues. And then sequel, prequel, or spin-off. So Adventure is designed for short to medium cinematic campaigns that strive to keep tension always high. But once the adventure is over, there's nothing stopping you from setting off right away to search for another treasure. Most obvious option is to keep going is by putting up a sequel which is a cinematic campaign that takes place after the one you just played, or a prequel. Or you could also do a spin-off. Like Frasier. So here's your treasures. Treasure Guardians. Treasure's true nature. The treasure's not what you thought. Death and destruction. A heavy price to pay. You can't take it away, or the treasure doesn't exist. Let it go, boy. So the Templar treasure, the Chintamani stone, the water of life, the book of Anubis, and your rival. They call him Belosh. He's got strong spots and weak spots. The forces of your rivals.
Those Nazis sure like their riding crops.
Yeah, right. This looks like a AI generated swastika armband.
Is that the Bluetooth symbol? What's going on?
Yeah, right. He's got Bluetooth. He's got fascist Bluetooth. The rival's weak spot. The rival's desire. Facing the rival. So they can only lose during the moment of truth. They are a hindrance. They can spend a spotlight to hurt, capture, or swindle the rival. Oh, you can't. Oh, sorry. You can't use a spotlight. The rival is cunning, and the rival is also stupid. And monologues. Classic rivals are the warlord, the Nazi occultist, the ambitious professor, the young heir, the rebel leader, the old friend. I don't like the old friend turning on you. All right.
That's like the French guy, right?
Yeah, right.
Belloc, yeah.
The perfect enemy. And then heat. So what does heat do?
Yeah, that looks similar.
Yeah. So erase the one heat, one point of no return. Sad goodbye, it's late. You're caught. Supernatural threat or the rival in the lead. Impact of heat. The director earns a heat point which they can spend to immediately make the adventurers' lives more difficult. So one heat point can give the effect of unrelenting. Adventurers are tired or wounded. Tripping hazard, so bad luck. I'll take that. The rival manages to steal the key. Ambush, they fall into an ambush. Double cross, someone close to them betrays them. And I was expecting you. Despite the apparent advantage, when the adventurers reach their next objectives, they will find the rival waiting for them.
Yeah, unrelenting was basically what I was doing in our last indie heat.
Right.
Just
Yeah.
adding a bullet to your death roulette.
Nice. All right. No, there's no time, so some adventurers feel like they can get back to their hotel room every night, or that they can always afford to travel in business class just because they have the money. Others try to plan their every move or try to ask relevant authorities or their contacts on the other side of the world for help to defeat the rival. That's no good. There's no time for that here. Yeah, so heat will help push that forward. So they have a camp, your safe place to set up camp. You can recover your grit, and there are camp actions. Investigate, heal, fix, comfort, resources, explore, advice, and job. All right, and then the advancement. So that moves forward. Yeah, experiences. And then
Which is why you need to play short campaigns, because you
Yeah.
will level up. You will get really crazy good characters pretty fast.
Yeah, right. That's true. Yeah, that's a good point. All right, and then the last is their pilot shot, the Frozen Legacy, and I think this connects to the included campaign. So yeah, they give you some pre-gens.
This is the one we played.
Oh yeah, that's right. Yeah, that's right. We did this.
There's the key right there.
Yep. There it is.
And then there's a couple pages in. There's the floor trap puzzle.
Nice. Yep.
And then the boat.
Yeah, nice. Yeah, I'll definitely put this link. I think I got to make sure the title. Let me make sure the title matches so people can find it. Yeah, and as you can see, they present everything like a script. You know, they give you a scene, interior, treasure hold, day.
Yeah, I gotta say, reading that when I was getting ready was a little distracting.
Oh yeah, yeah.
Because like you go to like page 240.
Mm-hmm.
So both of these pages are the same thing.
Oh, right, right.
Right. One side is just sort of more, I don't know, it's the right side is like more of a background information. I
Mm-hmm.
don't know how to explain it, but it's the same thing, and I don't know why they didn't just
Yeah.
put that all like everything that's a one, describe it all together. You
Right,
know, like
right, right.
I don't know. It's fine, but yeah.
Wow, interesting. Yeah, I see what you're saying. Yeah, I wonder why they separated that out. Nice. Yeah, that's right. I remember this.
Yeah, because you wait, let's see.
I think I was the professor, right?
I think you were the professor. Terry was Jason, right?
Yeah,
And Will was the smuggler, I believe.
I think so. Yeah, I think so. Yeah, the Korean June.
Yeah.
Nice. Yeah, so they give you the pre-gen. Yeah, that was the thing that was kind of disappointing for the latest for the superheroes genre expansion. The pre-gen characters just, you know, they were too on the nose for like, you know, oh, this is a scene with Doctor Strange and Iron Man, and yeah, it just, I don't know, there was something. These felt generic enough, you know, that it didn't feel like, oh, we're playing that scene from The Mummy. You know, it didn't feel exactly like that. But yeah. And then here's your blank adventure. And we'll see variations of the character sheet in their Flicks Volume 2 to fit the other genres. And then here's the index with a few mistakes. Nice. Yeah, wow. So yeah, just a few new sections and kind of moving the special abilities for enemies into just the supernatural. Nice. Yeah, but the same nice quality as their other
It's a very nice book.
Yeah, yeah. Yeah. Good stuff. All right, so what should we take a look at next? Because there's also we've got. Oh, let's just look at the screen real quick. So they did another version of the director's screen to match thematically. Because yeah, the rules there's just enough variation, and then you've got different gear and things. So you'll need some different stats. So, and again, it fits in their little box is a little bit different colors. Yeah, so
It's a low profile screen, which I appreciate.
yeah, it's nice. And they did it. Yeah, it's 4 panels. Yeah, and then yeah, so the help and hindrances there, and supernatural enemy information and traps. Yeah, so this will be unique to adventure. And then they've got the big art on the flip side.
Actually, if I ever ran this, I would probably scan this
Yeah.
and put that as like handouts for the players, I think.
Yeah, that's a good idea. Yeah, because there's nothing that only the director
Yeah, I
should
mean,
know.
maybe the supernatural part to get rid of, but
Yeah. Yeah, that's true. This is very helpful, especially, yeah, just this is a reference for the roles and how they work. Yeah, nice. So same soft touch coding as the book. And then they included, similar to the other one, another mission dossier. And I think this leads directly, I think the pilot...
the quick start.
Yeah, quick start pilot leads into this. So it's kind of the setup for this. So this is, again, they did a soft touch on this. This is just a soft cover, but they did a coding on that. And so it's case file number 2. Yeah.
They repeated the quick start in this book.
Oh, interesting. Oh, that's good. Yeah, so you can... yeah, that's right. Yeah, there it is. Frozen Legacy. Wow. So you got Way to Atlantis, Poseidon's Fury, and then the handouts. Oh, that's interesting. Yeah, so you got the pre-gens and everything. Yeah, just not the character sheets.
Oh, this is Zeppelin. Cool.
Nice. Yeah, we'll just take a quick flip through there. But yeah, the same screenplay kind of formatting. Nice, and some good illustrations. Oh, no, but they did include, they did include the pre-gens again. I guess if they want to offer this, separately.
And a bunch of handouts in the back.
Yeah. Hey,
That's
those
nice.
guys look familiar. Oh, that's good, yeah. Yeah, and I think they give you they give you PDFs of everything that they include here too, so you'll have these to use for a VTT or, to print out, so you're not destroying your books. And I guess we'll save the assistant director the end, but this is the other thing that they do with Outgunned. So they have this, genre expansion, and then they also do kind of mini expansions that give you the ability to play to flavor the the genre of the of this separately. So they're not saying this is specifically for adventure. So these are things that will have. So basically, what changes is there might be something mechanical, and then the character sheet will change. So here's the typical Outgunned end papers we're used to seeing. And so this is volume 2 of the flick. So we've got Star Knights, and these are all things that get unlocked, during the crowdfunding. Star Knights, Old Ones, Wild West, Dark Light, Mighty Swords, District 77, Dino Storm, Furious Wasteland, Army of Evil, Quack Tales, and Insert Coin.
Oh yeah, Quack Tales.
Oh, there it is. Yeah, there it is. Your tune, what is it? The mechanic will be, your tune heroes, your quack tropes, and your tune heroes. Oh no. All right, yeah. And so, this is how they show them, just as VHS tapes, all lined up. So, we got an Old West. So, they've got Gunslinger and different things that will be useful. Yeah, so I remember watching one of the live streams. They said that they came up with some quick draw mechanics so that the Old West version worked. So it looks like we got some Star Knights with their laser swords. Nice. So the new weapon is the sword, and they've got new hero feats. The new role is a Star Knight. Yeah, new tropes and powers. Oh, and they've got they could do like a named character as well. So here's all your themes, and then examples for possible missions and your themes. There's your sword. Your astral heroes. They have to just kind of change everything. Yeah, and here's your new feats and how this role works. The powers. Oh, darkness. Shadow Knights, of course. You have light and dark Star Knights. Enemies. And here's their kind of, all of the character sheets will be a little different. So here's the default character sheet. And then the pre-gen, the one named NPC. And there's a dark version. No.
The only issue I have with this is you just could not play a full-on Star Wars thing with just this information. You'd be having to...
Right. Yeah.
You'd have to be building a lot of stuff yourself.
No, that's true.
Because it's literally... They tell you how the Force works, and they tell you how lightsabers work, and... They don't tell you anything about blasters or spaceships or you know what I mean? Like,
I think in the volume 1, let's take a quick look. I've got it just within reach. I think in volume 1 they did like the everything that's not a Jedi. So I think Star Raiders, So so they did. So Star Raiders is your blasters and your ships and aliens. Yeah, alien starships and blasters, and then you have to add your Jedi into there if you want to
do that.
So you'd have to mash the two up, but then you could get close to your cute little aliens. Yeah, I mean, they actually have ships.
What is it? Arturo says all the time. That's a legally distinct Yoda
Yes.
there or something.
Yes. It's orange. It's not green, it's orange. And it's only
Yeah.
slightly adorable, not completely adorable. Yeah. Yeah, so it looks like, yeah, they are like, you can kind of mash a few of these together to make a more complete version. So the old ones, it looks like we've got a little Cthulhu, little Call of Cthulhu, supernatural investigators. So this is going to add 3 new tropes: the nightmare investigator, a madness mechanic, enemy feats and special actions, and Arthur Carter.
Ooh, madness mechanic. Mm-hmm.
Hey. Yeah. So hero feats, investigator. Yeah, madness. So gaining madness, it's never a good thing. So first time you meet a cosmic horror, the horrible enemies, forbidden artifacts, painful goodbye. So whenever you gain 1 madness, you permanently lose a grit box, starting with the one on the far right.
Ooh.
Mark an X and bid it farewell for good. That means after the first time you gain 1 madness, you can only rely on 11 grit boxes before being left for dead. Oh, wow. So yeah, it shortens the time that you're taken out. Oh, but they have gifts. Gifts from madness. Nice.
That's cool.
Yeah, that's not bad.
I could see combining a couple of these just to make it feel a little more, I don't know, complete or thorough.
Yeah. So so not everyone is doing kind of the same thing. Yep. So the sheet with some madness. Oh yeah, I guess you're just marking. And then your pre-gen guy, the Wild West.
Hey, we were just talking about this before we came on.
Yeah. Let's see what they did here. Yeah, so they added the gunslinger. Oh yeah, the quick draw duels, and they added a character. So you got a new condition, exhausted, and then 4 new feats. Yeah, so we got to figure out a good system for doing a Western. Protect the town, manhunt, heist, stand up to authority. So outlaws and sheriffs. So there'll be 2 sheets, different sheets for each. Horses and carriages, bullets and mags. Exhausted, -1 to all rolls that require focus or enduring effort. Yeah. So,
it's like extended test probably.
Yeah, right. Huh. So the hero feats, Eyes of Steel, Fast Reload, Hair Trigger, Rider, Gunslinger, and our new mechanic, Quick Draw. So you've got a stare off, which you study each other, the draw, which you pull your guns, and the shot, which you make your shot. Whoa. So composing the challenge will 12 dice, 14 dice, 16 dice, 18 dice, the fastest gun in the West. Oh,
Holy
man.
Whoa.
So your pool was always composed of 9 dice plus 1 dice for each point you have in cool, dexterity, and shoot. That's a lot. And then you divide your
you divide it into the different phases.
Yeah, right. Yeah. So how much you want to win, which part. Interesting.
That's kind of neat.
Yeah. We'll have to try that. Interesting. Yeah, so rolling the dice says you cannot make a free reroll, you cannot spend adrenaline, and you cannot use spotlights. So the stare
Maybe I'll have to.
Yeah.
I might have to work a shootout into our last indie heat.
Yeah, you should. Yeah. Yeah, this is good. Yeah, we've got mechanics for it, so let's do it. Oh, that's great. Yeah, they said that that you can't do this genre without having a dual mechanic, and they did that. So here's our NPC. So dark light is what? So we're playing demons. Is a supernatural action flick that puts you in the shoes of an angel sent from heaven to protect humanity, or a demon straight out of hell. So like Lucifer, right? So blessing,
or maybe like prophecy.
Oh yeah, right. Yeah, the emissary role and 2 new tags, angel or demon, and they give us stats for Lilith. The end times. Yeah, so which side, holy and unholy, blessing and blasphemy. You cannot hide from your enemies. Defeats the emissary. Well, lots of, otherworldly feats. Enemies, and then the sheets. Mighty swords. So,
Oh, yeah.
do some Conan. Yep, the barbarian. Nice. So, yeah, it doesn't look like they add any mechanics. Yeah, just new enemy feats and special actions.
Well, new rules. Magic is evil.
Oh, there you go. Yeah, right. Nice. And epic fighters. Nice. Might.
Oh, wow.
Oh, can reward a hero with might. Oh, okay. So another currency.
So the epic fighter thing says knocking out a ruffian or breaking through an old rickety door are absolute menial tasks for you. They don't even require a dice roll.
Oh.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, so they push your competency up a bit. Yeah, and then you have might points as well to track.
So that replaces adrenaline, it looks like.
Oh, does it? Adrenaline and the like. Okay. Oh, yeah. Yeah, that makes sense to theme it a little differently. And then they give you the weapons and the weapon feats. The hero feats, battle cry, bulwark, mythological warrior, and trick shot. The honorable savage. And barbarian. Roll enemies. Yep. And then they give you the might. So anything they rename, they duplicate on the sheet. That's cool. So what is District 77? Cop show? Crime drama, yeah. The shoes of an officer, detective. So kind of like what we're doing with, So
a little bit.
Yeah, buddy, rookie, buddy mode, huh?
Maybe without the 80s stuff going on.
Right.
More of a real cop thing.
Yeah, that's true.
Oh, it does have a thing that says 2 days away from pension. Like, it's Will's character.
The badge. Yeah. Hero feats. There's the rookie. Oh, yeah, buddy mode. So designed especially for groups of 3 players. Hey, that's us. As always, one will be the director. Oh, so you're just playing it two. So it's 2 players. And
2 guys, a buddy cop, a real buddy cop movie.
Right. Oh, yeah, that's true. Yeah, right. That's what they're doing. He's just having the relationship issues between just 2 players. I got it. Oh, and they switch this to adrenaline. So Dino Storm. What is this? Is after being extinct for millions of years, dinosaurs are now making a reappearance. So Jurassic Park with guns.
Yeah, Jurassic Park.
Yeah.
Which you could probably find some stuff in Outgunned Adventure that would work into that, you know.
Oh yeah, right. Yeah, that'd be fun too to just throw dinosaurs in. Hey, this temple's full of dinosaurs that survived extinction. Nice. Furious Wasteland. So our Road Warrior. Yeah. Oh, Fallout. No, you're right. Yeah, Fallout. Yeah, right. Scrap weapons. Yep. Dwellers. Yeah, there's Fallout.
Right. I'm fine with our Fallout.
Yeah. I think it works. Yeah, it works okay. It's got a lot of equipment.
Mm-hmm.
That's cool. Yeah, there we go. Yeah, definitely. Very Fallout. Army of Evil. Oh, this is what Resident Evil. Yeah. Okay.
Lady Ash there.
Yeah. The dead awake from their slumber and start walking in the earth. The fate of humanity hangs by the blood red thread. So slasher trope. Yeah. So zombie. Yeah. Zombie apocalypse. And a chainsaw. Okay, so the new rules for zombies. The heroes. Horror hero. Zombie enemies, on-demand zombies. Look at all those types of zombies. Yeah, so kind of a Evil Dead or even Resident Evil kind of combo. They're kind of mashing those 2 up a little. Here it is.
Blacktail.
All ducks all the time. We're not gonna do ducks, are we? Well, we're playing Daggerheart, so yeah, we probably could do
Yeah.
an all duck adventure. The new weapon is a plunger. Bidimensional. 5 new tropes, a new tag, tune, and tune feats at Mallard Jones. Oh no. Friendship and discovery are the core themes.
Masked vigilantes. Oh, you can play Darkwing Duck.
Of course you can. The new gear for your crazy quack tropes. Nice. The tune feats are boing, bottomless bag, and clumsy. Free reign to your imagination. In Quack Tales, you will find several tune feats to dive into the action as a cartoon, but if there's ever an action flick where you could just go nuts creating your own feats, this is the one. Dumb luck, fixation, flip out, flying. I never learned physics. There you go. Imposing. Private lab. Team. Nice. DuckTales. Oh no, and then insert coin. Is this Ready Player One or Tron?
Yeah, I think it's Ready Player.
Yes. Thanks to insert coin, you can play as a hero who projects their virtual avatar online and ends up, trapped in an extremely realistic video game. Yay. And it will be directed by Steven Spielberg. I still can't believe he directed that movie. That's so depressing.
She probably needed to buy a house.
That's true. Nice. And then our last, so they get a bunch more mechanics and types of roles for heroes to play. So you could definitely, everybody could pick their favorite movie, and then the director would have to figure out some way to make these characters work together. So this is the second volume, and there is yet a third volume that they're producing for the their superhero Outgunned. So even more.
One of the ones that I'm most interested in, I think, is in the first book. There is the Ghostbusters one.
Oh, that's right. That's right.
I think that would be a lot of fun.
Yeah, and I think it would work well with these rules. Yeah, the Ghost Hunters, that would work well with these mechanics.
Although, if we did want to get back into that Star Wars D6 system, the Ghostbusters game used that.
Oh,
used like a proto version.
Right, that's right. Yeah, that's right. There's a Ghostbusters West End. All right. So the last book that they included is Assistant Director. So they actually gave you solo rules and a mission generator for Outgunned. And I think this is produced by the master of solo rules, right? Matt Key. That's right. Yeah, that's right. Yeah, so I was thinking it was Ironsworn, but no, it's Matt Key. So they do creating missions, creating adventures, and then playing solo. And hot shots, so some short little.
This is cool. I want to look through this later on and kind of get a sense for how really usable it is.
Yeah. So one page, the hot shots are one-page campaigns that you can run for your friends or for use for inspiration for your own. So create missions, create adventures, and then play solo. And this is specifically for Outgunned Adventure. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, that's the cool thing about solo tools is they don't have to be for solo games. It could literally just be a way to kind of generate an adventure to run for people.
Yeah. No, that's very true. Yeah, so it looks like they give you all the questions to ask yourself and ways to build out. D66 tables, nice. All right. Yeah, so nice set of rules. Yeah, pressure, turning point, crisis, and showdown. Kind of how to structure everything. And then creating your adventures. Yeah, so basically, the types of things they were talking about in the core book, the rival. And there's the treasure and the stakes and your key. Rivals plan, starting leads.
Oh, so creating adventures is tailored for Outgunned Adventure, and creating missions is tailored for Outgunned.
Oh, there we go. Okay, that's what it is.
That's
Yeah,
kind of cool that they took the time to separate those.
yeah. Okay, yeah, and they even did it. I totally missed. They color coded it. You know, it's like red. It's the red of Outgunned versus the brown of Adventure. Nice. Yeah, so it's for both. Oh, okay, that's cool. Yeah, because in the Adventure, they specifically call out Adventure. That's cool. Oh, yeah, nice job. I totally missed that color coding. And then here's their solo play. So framework only, start with a lead. Don't skip the villain. Supporting characters, cherry pick and re-rolling. So your yes/no oracle is a d6. And then thematic oracles.
Oh, they have pre-built ones in the back too.
Oh, nice. Hero's best friends. Going solo. To get a double action, you do it yourself. Bullet time. Second win. Solo spotlights. You can use a spotlight to save yourself after failing a roll on the death roulette. Nerfed enemies. Heat tension, so replace heat with tension. The solo sheet. Missions, enemies, adventures. Oh, that's nice. Yeah, so missions and adventures, that their terminology is separate. So I wonder what they're going to do for what the naming or the kind of naming scheme is going to be for the superhero, because superhero will be another genre. So if they'll do like saga, or they can't do adventure. What are they going to do? Something
issue.
Oh yeah, right. Yeah, they could do something specifically comic booky. And then here's your hot shots, and that is so definitely a scene from Die Hard.
Yeah, that's probably the most blatant one they've done right there.
Accidental heroes, small fish. That's nice. Yeah, one page. It's upon, and here's adventures. That's really nice. Like visually, it's very easy to distinguish. Good job. And your two different sheets for Outgunned. Your solo sheet. Oh, so assistant director and then solo sheet. Nice. Yeah, that's cool. Nice. So yeah, this was something that was unlocked during the campaign. Yeah, so always people are curious about solo rules. So there it is. And it's not like a third party. It was something that they, produced themselves. All right. And then the thing that I had to pay all the import taxes on, the goodie box. So similar. Yeah, there's volume 2. So similar to the previous one. It's a VHS soft touch box that looks like an old VHS cover. And it looks like, very similar stuff. So the bag with the logo themed for adventure. And there are 2 different kinds of dice. Oh, nice.
I have to step away for just 1 second.
Oh, sure.
Continue on.
Sure. No problem. Yeah. So they changed the icons a bit, you can see. So they kept the skull, I guess the ongoing, because that's for dangerous rolls. The skull will remain. Oh, these are nice. Yeah. Nice clear engraving. And so they've got a hat, a snake, a scarab, the kind of snake eye, a holy grail, and then the skull. So yeah, you can still roll these because these will still work for regular Outgunned, because you'll still have your skull for the I guess so. I guess the skull and the snake eye are the 6 and the 1 basically, because they're opposite of each other. And these are black and kind of a copper. Yeah, these are really pretty. Yeah, they do a nice job with the dice. So now there's 4 different colors of, and this, symbols are a little different, but 4 different colors of Outgunned dice. So, that's right. And also, so you've got your D6s to roll. So you've got, 9 of each color of the D6s, and then a D12 for your grit track. So you can just...
Okay, I'm back, sorry.
Okay, no problem. So yeah, looking at the dice look nice, and you get another bullet for your death roulette rolls.
That's dope.
And then the coins, spotlight coins, this time themed for adventure. So still the nice heavy, thick coins, and one side is the adventure It's either the guy shooting and falling, or the adventurer with the torch entering the temple, and then the skull on the other side. So yeah, kind of a gold tone as opposed to the silver. And then some of the extra stuff that was unlocked, the key ring. So it's a ring engraved with Outgunned Adventure, and I think it'll fit a pinky with a rawhide strap on it. So as a prop type thing, yeah, they unlock some funny stuff.
Did you get the 2 sets of dice? I forgot that I was getting 2 sets of dice.
Oh yeah, they did. But yeah, they did both colors. So the default color, the kind of dark brown and bone color, and then black and kind of copper. Yeah. I think these got unlocked. What's that?
I don't know if you already mentioned this, but the bullet die, the death roulette die, that's really freaking heavy. That's nice.
Yeah, it is. It's a real heavy piece of metal. I think it's a different tone. I think this is a more bronze color, and the other one is a silver. So they're even colored. And then if you've got a map and you're traveling on the map, you need the airplane icon. So they produced a little plastic standing plane to show you.
So dumb, but also so cool.
Yeah, right. And again, the pencil. So break it for a... wait. So this one says, break this to cause a distraction or defeat an enemy thanks to your knowledge. And then you have a broken pencil. All right. And they also did an adventure passport. So blank adventure sheets for Outgunned Adventure, but passport sized. Nice. Oh, yeah, there you go. So, yeah, some blank... there's the travel journal and the sheets. So, yeah. So 2 different pages.
But how would...
Every player would have to have one, wouldn't they?
You'd have to rip off the staples or something.
Oh, yeah. And this actually might be fun for the... if it's the same sheet as the solo... Well, I guess it's for adventure, but for the solo sheet, that would...
For the solo? Yeah.
That'd probably be the best way to use it. Because otherwise every player would have to have... But they did the soft touch again on the soft cover. That's nice. That's funny. Yeah. So these are all like extra items kind of themed towards Outgunned. The ring, the plane, and the passport specifically themed for Outgunned, and everything else is just has the treatment. And then the artwork from the director's screen as a poster. So single-sided posters, but these are quite big. And then, which art is this? Oh, no, this is the map. Yeah, here's a world map to put your airplane on. There we go. So one of the posters is a world map to fly. You just got to draw the dotted line.
And it's an old 30s map too. That's cool.
Yeah, it is. That's right. Yeah, they even got era specific. Yep, the Soviet Union is still intact. Nice.
Oh, there's movie posters for the action flicks too.
Oh yeah, nice. Yeah, so for all the cover art for their books. So this is the flicks volumes are getting progressively crazier. So they do posters for Action Flicks Volume 2, and then the cover. Oh, last one, the cover for the adventure artwork.
Did you already look at the cards?
Oh no, I did not. Yeah, sorry, I kept them outside. They didn't quite fit. Yeah, but here's the art for the default. Yeah, let's take a look and see. So usually the cards, they give you the tropes and the all of the info. So it looks like this time they didn't produce the half-size cards. So before for Adrenaline and Cash and everything, they had half-size cards. It feels like this is just going to be the full size. So let's take a quick look at these guys.
There's a lot of different cards.
Oh, yeah. So it says, let me get the plastic off so I can actually read it. So the adventure deck has the 11 rolls, the 15 tropes, 14 enemies, 12 supernatural enemy cards, 3 key cards, 6 trap cards, 24 luck, and 9 run. Yeah, so the mechanics that they're introducing in adventure, there's cards for. Yeah, the previous version had the some half-size cards for some of the abilities and things. So we've got our enemy cards. So here's all of
mine are almost look like the text is printed too close to the top edge on some of these.
Oh, really?
Do you think that's intentional, or
I don't know. Yeah, I don't see.
Not on the inside, on the backs.
Oh, yeah. No, I think that's intentional. That it's cropped off like that. Yeah, like the enemy card. Yeah, I think that's supposed to be part of the design. Yeah, where run and enemy. I think that's the design choice and trope. Yeah. Wow. Yeah. So they've got everything. So full description. So all the stuff they represented in there with the mechanical explanation of the traps and things. And that's nice when you're playing in person. Yeah. So all of the roles and tropes. So for character creation, yeah, this is very useful because then you're not sharing the book. You've got exactly what skill points, what skills you put points into. And then here's all the keys. Oh, and the big bads, the supernatural enemies and stuff, yeah. Run cards. Yeah, so the special, the things that are triggered first, second, third turn. Key items. And then, oh yeah, so instead of just the half size for adrenaline, you've got the full size for luck. And this was actually really, in person, these cards are good to have, so you're not just like filling in, erasing the bubbles on the character sheet.
That makes sense.
And you kind of like throw them at the director when you're like, all right, I'll spend the adrenaline, and you throw them across the table. That works well.
I know this box is really for all the add-ons and cool tchotchkes, but I kind of feel like they missed an opportunity to not make it wide enough to hold the book.
I know, yeah, I was thinking that.
Because it's only slightly smaller.
Yeah.
Like, it feels like they could have made it just a tiny bit bigger.
Yeah, I think the booklets fit inside, but I think they did it specifically so that on the shelf they sit like that. Yeah, I think that's why they did it. Yeah, but I know what you're saying. It'd be nice if you could tuck everything in there. Yeah. Yeah, so yeah, nice the set of cards, and they don't have the linen finish or anything, but they're decent cards. They're nice and cleanly printed, kind of a satin finish, not too glossy. And yeah, and everything you're going to need, anything you're going to need mechanically to have at the table. So when you're playing in person, the cards and the custom dice are really fun. They add a lot. They added a lot to the experience when I ran the quick start for the first Outgunned. All right, and then, so this was something, so I received first the books, then the stretch goals, and then there was still something missing, and then I got a big manila envelope full of all the coasters in the world. So included was supposed to be just a set of 4, but I got...
Yeah, I'm jealous. I only got 4.
I got 4 sets of 4. I guess so that it was worth shipping from Italy to Japan. And these are really nice, too. They're really heavy. Yeah, they're very heavy. Yeah, so in case of camping, flip the coaster. So here's all your camping actions that you can take. So each adventurer can take 2 of these actions. So yeah, so you put your beer on it, then you flip it over and start camping. Yeah, so that's nice. I mean, it was really nice because they definitely had to spend extra money to send 3 different shipments. Whoever was doing fulfillment in Asia did that, and that's really great that Two Little Mice made sure that everybody got everything, so there was nothing missing at all, even though it had to arrive. And they specifically, because I got my books first and I was a little worried because it was only books, but they sent an email. There was an email that went out from the from Two Little Mice that said, hang in there, things are coming, they're just going to arrive separately. And they didn't have any idea about the timetable, but they arrived one right after the other. So first the stretch goals, and then the huge amount of coasters. I got to open an Outgunned Adventure bar now because I've got all the coasters for the entire, all the tables I'll ever need. Yeah, but everything is so well produced. I mean, they do all kinds of funny extra tchotchkes, but everything is good quality. Nothing is like, oh, that's, super cheap from an Alibaba special. You know, it doesn't feel like that. Like everything is produced well.
Yeah, and with a game like Outgunned Adventure specifically, I think having all these little era appropriate doodads is like it can help with immersion for the players.
Oh yeah, no, definitely. Yeah, I felt that a lot, and especially with the mechanics, like having the cards to mark stuff out, and rolling with the custom dice. Yeah, it was really fun when we were playing in person, and everything goes all in there. So wow, yeah, that is the second end. Unfortunately, I thought I could control myself, but I don't know if I think it's towards the end of this year, probably the beginning of next year. Outgunned Superhero is on its way. So Chris will be picking up. I'm gonna. I don't, because Chris doesn't have the core book for the first Outgunned, so I think I'll include that in my superhero pledge. But yeah, so we'll have, and there's going to be more stuff, so we can add Superman to any one of our Outgunned adventures.
Oh Lord.
But yeah, so this is great. They and there's years between the production, but if you look at the two books, they're identical in quality. There's not like a drastic change in anything they did. So they're using the same printer. They're getting the same quality on all of their books and goods, and that's great because that doesn't always happen. I know some, even just like simply RPG books, like they switch printers and you get a drastically different quality or drastically even different color, like tones and colors on the book covers and stuff. So yeah, they did a nice job of everything is going to look nice, sitting together on the shelf because they did a nice job producing it. Yeah, so Outgunned Adventure didn't break 500,000, didn't break 500,000. The Superhero did, because that was their final level. So they keep getting better. That's actually nice to see that it's not diminishing returns. That Two Little Mice is being able to generate attention and enthusiasm for each of their genres. And I think maybe the superheroes, even though I thought for myself it was the least appealing, that probably has the most mass appeal. It has. I think the way they like themed it, kind of MCU style.
Yeah,
I think,
it's more in the zeitgeist right now.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. So really nice quality, and it's they didn't ruin the game. They didn't make anything. They didn't change anything in a way that's going to make it weird. And they're reinforcing the compatibility between all of the systems and all of the flicks. All of the expansions they're producing. So I think they did a good job with that. Yeah, it's nice to see.
Nice. It's nice to get my hands on some of it because I only had PDFs before this.
Right.
Really
cool. Yeah, physically, yeah. They always do. Their household stuff, their Outgunned stuff is just great. So do you think, Two Little Mice have had a few other projects, but nothing that's an ongoing series. Do you think they need to like stop with these two games, like with Household and Outgunned, and just like stick to adding more to that? Or do you think there's like a fantasy RPG in their future? Do you think they're going to try something? I guess Household is a fantasy RPG. Do you think they're going to try something else? Like there's going to be another iteration of this?
I think what I would say is same thing I feel about Free League is I would like them to slow down and and water their garden a little,
Yeah.
But I get the sense that these guys are just kind of like go, so I wouldn't be surprised if a couple months from now they're already teasing their next thing.
Yeah, I wonder what that's going to be. If it's going to be another Household expansion, or they're going to do like something, another D6 dice pool, but a new thing. Yeah, I'll be curious to see.
I think if they're not just going to do more like action flick kind of stuff, they've maybe explored this system.
Yeah.
as much as needs to be explored because it's not a complex system really,
Right.
and unless they did another standalone with a really strong like core theme that sticks out, like maybe they could do a standalone that's essentially a Star Trek kind of game. You know what I mean?
Right. Yeah, yeah.
Something where they can really put a lot of meat into it, and it's not just another action flick kind of thing.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, I don't think they should start another line of a totally different game
Right. Right.
because they have so many balls in the air right now with this stuff that.
Yeah, and I think that it might kill their poor illustrator. She does so much work.
Oh, and she cranks it out so fast.
Yeah, it's so beautiful. Yeah, yeah, yeah. Really good stuff. Yeah, Daniela Giobellini does all of the artwork. Yeah,
Yeah, she's great.
yeah.
I hope they pay her well.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. Well, I mean, it's nice because it makes all the games like so cohesive. Like the art direction and everything just matches. Matches really well. So yeah, it makes it look very nice. So
And
yeah.
she can.
Yeah.
Oh, I'm sorry.
No, go ahead.
Oh, just on the artist, she can turn up or turn down her like detail a lot. Too,
Oh, yeah.
I've noticed. Like,
Yeah.
there's a 2-page spread in the rule book that's got the mummy king or whatever.
Mm-hmm.
Super ornate looking, really cool.
Yeah, yeah.
But then she's also doing more sketch like
Mm-hmm.
kind of monochrome images, and yeah, it's cool.
Yeah, it's really good. Yeah, really nice. And she's got a great range. Yeah, so I wonder. So I guess that leaves because we were talking about this kind of filling the genre of Broken Compass, their first game. So I wonder now that they have the rights back to Broken Compass, are they going to do something with it? Are they going to re-release it under just their imprint, or I wonder what their thinking is? Because so now Come On is kind of failing. They reacquired the rights to the game they co-published, and it was nice to see that just as they were going to the crowdfunding with Outgunned, they took. I guess it was the first household. They moved away from Come On, like that. Broken Compass was the only thing they co-produced with Come On, and they were on their own, starting with Household, and then from there, they just built momentum. But good to see, and it's been really fun. I mean, the Indie Heat campaign has been a lot of fun. It's really nice to immerse yourself in the action movie, 80s action movie thing.
That was fun, and I mean, I didn't really do it the John Wick way that they were doing. They are kind of the base game is, but it was still a lot of fun. I think that's one of the cool things about this system is it's so simple that you can just kind of adapt it to whatever genre you want.
Yeah, that's true, and you can definitely tell that from their how many flicks they can do. So this is what they have is like probably close to 20 now, right? Because there are a lot in each book. Yeah. So there's 10, 11 in this book, and I think another 10. So they can adapt this to so many different genres, and it's flexible and simple enough that I don't think it's going to get in the way. It'll feel thematic enough. Oh no, this is another 11. So 22. And there's a third volume that's being produced. So, oh my God, you can open it your own Cineplex and be able to play a separate session for every film in your Cineplex, your multiplex.
Yeah, it's. I feel like for folks that aren't just playing D&D or some D&D like thing, like dice pools are really, I don't know, they're powerful systems. Like they almost seem like they offer more flexibility, like from a free league dice pool to this to the D6 West End system, which apparently is going to get some kind of reboot by somebody. And then like, doesn't the other one use a dice pool? The Household one?
Yes, it uses the pairs, 2 of a kind, 3 of a kind.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah, except he uses the suits, Trump suits for the deck of cards.
So
Or is it something similar?
dice pools allow a lot of like modification to
Mm-hmm.
what's going on.
Mm-hmm.
And it's also just in the most basic of player thing. Chucking a bunch of dice is really can be really satisfying.
Yes, yeah, that's true. Yeah, instead of just a single D20 plus two. Yeah, right.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Yeah, that's very true. Yeah. Yeah, nice. So yeah, we've had good fun with this, and it'll be interesting to figure out how we're going to come back to it. Like once we finish Indie Heat, like what would be the next thing we want to try this system to do? I think like Ghostbusters, or maybe even we we could just take the campaign. We could just take Fall of Atlantis and fill it full of ducks and see how that goes.
I get the feeling for the what is it called? Quacktail?
Yeah, right.
Is maybe supposed to be a little like less less danger and more hijinks.
Yeah,
But yeah.
You think so with the plunger gun? You don't think that's gonna?
Yeah, right, yeah.
That'd be funny if like only the player characters are ducks and everybody else is just the standard human characters.
Oh, or like a Who Framed Roger Rabbit situation.
Oh,
where
yeah,
like
there you go. Yeah, right.
animated characters mingling with normal people.
Oh man. Yeah, so yeah, that's right. Because that's so the ducktails thing is the only tunes, but they could do a straightforward just cartoon world, rules for cartoons only, and then mash that up. You can mash that up with any genre.
Hmm.
Yeah, so yeah, this has been great. It's great to finally take a look at all of the components. It's so nice that they actually made sure that it all made it here, because that could not have been cheap to do three different shipments from wherever their fulfillment center was for Asia. They still had to send it all separately. So I appreciate that they did that and didn't just say, sorry, move to North America if you want to get all this stuff.
Yeah, well, then please allow me to counter by saying I received 2 damaged books.
Thank you, North America. Yeah.
Thank you, North American distributor. You suck.
Yeah. So Matt, your flicks and your core book have bent corners.
No, it's my Flicks book and my assistant director, the solo rules.
Oh, okay. So that
The core book is fine.
Oh, good.
Everything else is fine. It's literally just those 2 books, which is hilarious because the design of the stretch goal box with all the distressed cracks and stuff drawn into it. It keeps tricking me. I keep like touching what I think is a damage, and oh no, that's just the art.
Right. Yeah, maybe they thought you wouldn't notice if the actual books were damaged as well. Yeah, well, that's too bad. Yeah, and it's like that's the frustrating thing is like you'll have Kickstarters in different regions, so Europe, North America, and the rest of the world, like Australia and Asia. And it'll be different companies doing fulfillment, and they have different quality control, and they have different employees, and even different postal services. I'm sure, North America's a little rougher with their packages than other parts of the world. So yeah, and that's something that reflects on Two Little Mice, but it's it's not their fault. So that's the frustrating part of it. You'll if you were the typical crowdfunding backer, you would go jump on BackerKit right now and you would scream at Two Little Mice because they damaged your books. That seems to be what happens in Kickstarter comment sections and everything.
So this was shipped from Studio 2 Publishing in Knoxville, Tennessee. I believe Studio 2 Publishing, aren't they the Savage World guys?
Oh, maybe. Yeah, wow. They did some savaging of your books there. Interesting. Yeah. Yeah, so let me check my... Hive Technologies in the UK is who sent out fulfillment for Japan. Yeah, so it came Royal Mail. So yeah, so I got 3 shipments. Wow, 3 separate shipments from the UK to get all this to me. Wow. So yeah, so each area of the world has different has a different company handling things, and some.
Actually, no. They're
Oh no.
just some giant distributor, it looks like.
Oh okay. That doesn't put enough packing in their boxes when they ship stuff out.
Oh yeah, Savage World is Pinnacle. Sorry.
Oh,
Okay, I take
Pinnacle.
that back. I take that back.
Yeah. Well, cool. Well, we'll have to see what we get up to with the system. And then some superhero stuff is going to show. Okay, it was the dice. It was the Infinity Stone dice that I was like, fucking hell, those are so cool. And they even made a separate box for them. They got their own box. So I was like, god damn, they're not going to produce those again, ever.
You got tricked.
I know. But it would be really fun to play like a weird world, the Infinity Gauntlet, like Infinity War, where everybody just made their own like messed up superhero, and we tried to like get through that kind of epic storyline, but everyone was just such a confused, messed up loser that it was like impossible to get you guys to save the world or even give a damn. Yeah, it'd be fun.
You could do sort of a smaller scale version of the Marvel strategy where you could have like, say we have 3 characters, right?
Mm-hmm.
So there could be 3 adventures leading up to a big one, and each one of those superheroes and all of their like origin stuff or whatever is kind of the driving force between that adventure.
Yeah.
And then you do that 3 times, and each one kind of leads to the big thing a little more.
Right.
And then for the 4th one, you could have the big Avengers movie or whatever.
Yeah, that'd be really fun to like, basically have you guys like one person plays their hero, and maybe the other guys can do like supporting. You can do the Pepper Potts and the J. Jonah Jameson characters, and then eventually that'd be really fun to like literally do solo films, for each of the heroes. So you got their origin and everything. Somebody could be the uncle that dies, the father that gets killed by the mafia.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So I wonder, and I'm really curious. Like I looked at the, how they did it at the quick start, and it's similar. I think even there might even be a superhero. Like they already gave it kind of a test run. I think there's superheroes in this. Yeah, great powers. So they've already kind of given it a shot, like what you would need to do. But the genre expansion is going to be everything. Yeah. So here's our first attempt at it in the Flicks Volume 1.
All I want from the superhero stuff is the ability to make a character that doesn't just feel like, oh, I took a bit from Batman and I took a bit, like it feels unique,
Right. Oh yeah, so this made it into the superhero system, the powerless, so you can lose your abilities. Like there can be something that takes away your superpower temporarily, and then super feats. Yeah. So this is kind of the prototype of what they did. Yeah, so I guess the next genre expansion is probably also going to come from one of these flicks. Yeah, actually, if they expand on the Old West one, I would not mind that at all. I don't know if that that genre is never probably going to be popular to crowdfund, but if they did a full genre expansion for Old West, so that they did all of the tropes, the bartenders, like the saloon and the sheriff and the
being out in the wilderness.
Yeah. If they went into all of that, that would be really fun.
That would be fun. And being an Italian company, I feel like they're somewhat required.
Yes. Yeah, it's just to be the outgunned spaghetti. Spaghetti Western. Outgunned spaghetti Western. I'm sure that they see that as a derogatory genre term, but no, that would be awesome if they did a full-fledged Old West expansion. Yeah. And it'll just depend on what happens after the superhero movies die in theaters. Maybe they'll have to release a romantic comedy genre. The love triangle. Boy meets girl. Boy loses girl. Oh man. Yeah, well, this was great. Yeah, and we've got some solo rules to take a look at, and some some fun
Yeah,
stuff.
if those look usable, we could do little things on the channel with those.
Yeah, yeah, that's true. Very true. Give those ducks a test run.
So, a solo quacktail. Yeah.
Nice. Well, cool. Well, thanks everybody for hanging with us while we opened up everything. Quack, you mother quackers. Nice.
Abyss is freaking out about the ducks.
Oh yeah. No, please no. That's funny. But yeah. Thanks for hanging with us. This was a fun thing to go through, and yeah, we really enjoy the system. It works well for its simplicity, and it's like really being able to push the actions of your characters has been a lot of fun. So we will get back to it with the third indie heat, and coming up this weekend or this Friday, we're going to do some. Probably get it to our big climax for this first part of Daggerheart. See where we want to go from there. Yeah,
Haggard some darts.
Haggard darts. And but tomorrow is the weekly, so I haven't got confirmation from Chris, but yeah, we'll get some weekly coming tomorrow, and yeah, we'll get back to the actual play. Yeah, so I think we're all set. So yeah, thanks everyone. Thanks to the both the members and patrons for supporting us, making all of this stuff possible. And yeah, you're directly responsible. So I'm actually going to put some blame on the patrons and the members for making the purchase of Daggerheart possible, because I never would have done that if it wasn't for funds from the members.
Is this like a codependency kind of thing?
Yes, I would never have even ventured into the Daggerheart world. And it's actually been Silgo, one of the patrons, actually mentioned this in a comment on the Daggerheart stream, the actual play, is that went into it, completely, critical and like, this is garbage, this is ridiculous. But the characters and the world building and everything we did made it very watchable, very enjoyable, So the system, we kind of, got out from under the system and were able to make a fun game, tell a fun story.
The important lesson, yeah, exactly. The important lesson to take away is, if you got a group of people that just want to have fun playing a role-playing game with each other, the system almost doesn't matter, because I was very negative going into this. I have since dialed that down from negative to probably won't run ever, but it's okay, But it's with Will and Arturo and Abyss, and then you running. It's been fun, and so like the big lesson is your group and everyone wanting to have fun is more important than whatever the hell the system is.
Yeah, that's very I think that's very true. Yeah, just wanting to tell a story, and just like, okay, these are the mechanics that that we're going to use. Yeah, because I don't think it does anything amazingly. I mean, I think the only thing, and Arturo pointed this out, the only thing that I think has a different feel that's kind of fun is the kind of push and pull of initiative. So failing or rolling fear loses the initiative. So when you fail a roll, something happens, not just, okay, now it's your turn. Like the whole action switches over to the enemies or to the environment, like something is allowed to react. And that feels different because we've been playing a lot of 2D20, and so you can use a currency to kind of steal initiative or keep initiative, and that has more strict mechanics. But the interesting thing of rolling dice and then saying, oh, okay, that failure directly means that we lost. But if you keep succeeding, it's like natural momentum. Like, you don't have to have a currency for that. It's just momentum. Like, you never lose it. You never lose the ability to take an action if you don't fail. So I think that's a pretty interesting feel. That feels a little different, and that was the only thing that stood out to me as the
Yeah, I don't want to turn this into a Dagger Heart debrief because I totally think we should do that
Oh
once we
yeah,
finish
yeah, we should.
the
Yes,
adventure.
yes,
But with the initiative specifically, because you brought it up,
yes, 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 yes.
I like it in principle.
Mm-hmm.
What I don't like is it can be real easy for someone to. Same problem I have with a lot of co-op board games is you can kind of have someone alpha player it.
Oh, right, right. Yes.
And it's real important for the group to recognize that we are a group,
Yes, yes.
you know?
No, that's true.
And then,
Yeah, that's a good
and
point.
the other thing for the math wonks, of which I am not, but Will is, there is a risk assessment that could be made
Yeah.
about whether you should take an action and risk rolling with, was it fear?
Yeah, right. Fear, right, right.
To give the initiative back to the bad guys.
Yeah, that's true.
And I don't like that thinking. I feel like that's metagaming and takes you out of the role playing experience. So to me, as unique and interesting as the initiative is, I think it has downsides.
Yeah, yeah. I recorded because when we ended the stream for that first session of Daggerheart, we kind of talked. We were like fresh from playing it, so we talked about the system. So I'll keep that piece of audio, and yeah, I'll use that, and we can have another discussion either after the session or some other time, depending on our energy and schedules. Yeah, and let's do a whole debrief about like how that system feels, because I think there's going to be people that are going to be fans of it because they're critters. There's going to be people that don't touch it because they're only playing 5e. So it'd be nice to have some kind of, opinion of it that doesn't come from either of those camps.
Whereas in reality, it's probably somewhere in between.
Yes. Yeah. Right. Exactly. Yes. All right. Well, yeah. Thanks everybody for joining us, and we will. More Jason Momoa is coming this Friday. And so tune in tomorrow around this time for the weekly. The day after that is Daggerheart. And thanks for watching, everyone. We'll see you again soon.
Bye.
Goodbye.